You, or rather, all of us consumers, we are the reason that new cars are not built to last. This is the exact conversation I had this week with a senior manager at a Honda dealership. And it made me realise there's some truth to that statement. So, I'm down picking up some parts this week, right? As I'm doing most weeks. And we get chatting and I ask how's business. He's a friend of mine, right? So, he's telling me, and has been for some time now, that new car sales is pretty tough. These traditional manufacturers, they're feeling the inevitable effects of the abundance of new Chinese dealerships popping up all over the place. So in response to my question, he looks at me, he shakes his head and he points over at a new CR-V that's sitting just outside the showroom. And he says, "Convince me, as a member of the public that doesn't really care about cars, that this is worth 50% more than a JQ or other Chinese offering." Point taken. So I say back to him in a kind of appeasing way, but you'll always get those who will choose a Honda, you know, those that value reliability, longevity, brand reputation. And at this point, he's kind of smirking back at me, right, as if he expected me to go there. And his response is already in the chamber, the gun's cocked, he's just waiting to pull the trigger back on me, right? So he says, "That's where you're wrong. This isn't the 90s anymore." He says, "Think about how people buy cars now. I mean, 90% of them use PCP. So they put a deposit down, they make their payments for 3-4 years, then they hand the car back." He says, "Grant, they don't even care if that thing runs after the 5-year point because they're already on to the next one. You've heard of shrinkflation? Well, this is durationflation." As terrifying as it is, he's right. See, if we go back to the 90s or the 2000s, what sold cars like Hondas was that bulletproof reputation. The reputation that you and I still associate with them. You know, the expectation that that Civic or that CR-V will still be going strong in 25, 30 years' time. Honda knew it as well. This used to be at the core of their marketing.
24 hours a day for more than 2 months. That's how we develop and test the engine of the Honda Civic. No wonder the Civic lasts such a long, long time. Heck, it even outlasts our engineers.
But as my friend points out, longevity like this no longer sells cars, because generally speaking, the people who are buying them likely won't keep them long enough for it to matter anyway. And if you look at what is selling, right, what cars are in vogue, there's a trend here. Each of them combine two distinct things. Number one, a very attractive low monthly cost. Number two, an extraordinary amount of tech. So these self-parking systems, these enormous screens engulfing the dashboard in front of you, these surround cameras, and so on and so forth. This is why we're seeing cars like the JQ and various other Chinese offerings just running away with the market, because they excel in these categories. The value isn't spread over 30 years in the form of proven longevity. It's all instant. The customer can see it. It's here and now in the showroom. And what this means for more traditional manufacturers, like our friend at Honda, is they too are having to appeal to this modern interpretation of value. So they're piling in huge amounts of tech to try and compete. So I mean, look at a CR-V, for instance. What started life back in the 90s and 2000s as a basic, rugged, easily repaired vehicle now has multiple huge displays, now has radar units, now has advanced cameras, software controlled braking, and so on. It's like the Chinese manufacturers sneezed and all the others, they caught the cold. So, I mean, what does it matter? It's not like me or you are going to be rushing out to buy a brand new car anytime soon. Well, the reason that it matters is because the cars sold today are going to become tomorrow's used cars. And whilst this plethora of tech may well serve that first owner very well, what's it going to be like trying to fix an obsolete network of sensors 20 years down the line? What's it going to be like trying to fix a digital module that controls the brakes whilst self-parking, and it uses parts that Honda stopped producing 10 years ago? It's going to be nigh on impossible. For those Chinese offerings, I mean, will the brands even exist 20 years down the line? Never mind the part supply. The reality is, it's those of us who rely on older cars, cheaper cars, that are going to be hardest hit by this move. Cheap, basic cars that can be fixed on a shoestring, they're a dying breed. The cars that a lot of us have relied upon throughout our lives, they just aren't going to exist 20 years down the line. Thing is, you can blame the manufacturers, you can blame the government, but at the end of the day, the point made by my friend is the most compelling force is the consumer. Every pound spent is a vote cast, and they'll make what sells. The good news is there's still plenty of good survivable cars out there at the moment to buy and hang on to, which wouldn't be such a bad idea. And if you do decide to do that, please do remember to make use of our channel sponsor, Vehicle Score. These guys provide 20% off history reports, so you'll see if that car's ever been written off. You'll see if it's got outstanding finance on it, amongst a whole host of other information you're going to want to know. As ever, thanks for watching, folks. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep hitting the little hype button, and I'll see you in a few days' time. Take care.